We bought this house 16 years ago, and when I saw it, I just recognised all these exciting opportunities to transform what seems like a kind of fairly ordinary, standard residential home into something that could be, a really shining beacon for sustainability. So it started off with basically insulating the attic, the walls, the floors, and then we had to seal the house up. So that means, sealing any of those little gaps that lets cold air in, but also fitting new energy efficient windows. And then it was all about fitting energy efficient appliances and control systems. So that, if we did have to fit a boiler, gas boiler, make sure at least you can control when it's operating and at what temperatures, and that it's as efficient as possible. At that point, you start to move into renewables. So we fitted solar photovoltaic panels to the roof to create electricity, and that's about a 4 kilowatt system. But also we fitted solar water heating panels, what's called solar thermal. So we're now starting to create electricity that powers the things that we're using in the daytime, but also sells electricity back into the grid, and also helping to warm water that goes into our heating system. Well, with the solar panels being on, I realized the house is basically a power station. So let's use it. So we got an electric car and we just plug it in if it's sunny, and the car literally charges from the house. So that's kind of brilliant. So what with the boiler upgrade scheme being available, I thought now is the ideal time. Get rid of the boiler whilst, it hasn't failed, and replace it with an air source heat pump. It just seemed like the perfect opportunity. So now what we've got is the air source heat pump being fitted to the side of the outside of the house. We've got a buffer tank being fitted in place of where the boiler is. And then there's a water tank that's going in upstairs, and then 3 more radiators. So yeah, there's a little bit of upheaval, but it's really only over 4 days. At that point, we're gonna have a really lovely, cozy, warm, comfortable house to live in. And that is the goal. And it's gonna be low carbon.